Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, another Zah back at you, y'all Savage. But anyways, before I even get into it, you know what I mean, which is this gonna be basically about the whole thing with YG. A lot of people have been asking me about it. I really chose not to speak up on it because, in truth, people know exactly how it gets when people get money. You know what I mean? But I try to cover it as best I can without being disrespectful to anybody. Uh, First and foremost, I'm gonna shoot my shots out. Shots out to El Berna. I'm gonna go ahead and drop his link. I'm surprised dude only got to 11 subscribers, but once you hear it, I think you're gonna understand why exactly I'm covering it the way I'm covering it. But anyways, shouts out to Proving Our Point. They got a new song. Well, they're working on new projects, so go ahead and check them out. I'll be dropping a link to their stuff. And for the people that's been supporting them, hey, gracias. To Clown and G, I got one. He got a song called Toguro or something like that, Toguro or whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link to that, and you can pretty much figure it out yourself. And to LTR Music, these dudes been doing a lot of things. This dude in particular, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop his link to IG, and you can go ahead and check him out. But anyway, the whole thing with YG, a lot of people, there's always gonna be old beef and old animosity that springs up, whenever anything happens between blacks and Mexicanos. And this one in particular was kind of like, I think it really hit a nerve because the way dude was addressing this youngster. For the people that don't know, it was like some stuff that happened. It was all over social media. I guess he was in Australia. Some guy was filming him, which happened to be some Salvadorian dude, that a youngster, was just filming him. I don't know exactly what took place outside the fact that he was being filmed by this guy, felt disrespected. And instead of just, getting at him the right way and just be like, hey man, I don't appreciate you filming me. He got in his face, was filming this dude, and was like, just being real disrespectful, talking about how he was basically a poo nanny. He was this, he was that, and that he would smash on him. And I think, a lot of Latinos seen it, but a lot of, blacks seen it too, that it was just like, he was just doing way too much. And for somebody to be on the level that he is, you would assume that he would refrain from doing dumb things. But like I said, I don't know exactly if there was more to it, but as far as like the story that they gave, media was just basically he was filming YG and YG got mad. You know what I mean? And that's understandable. You could be doing something that you might not want nobody to see, but the simple fact that he got at this young ass dude the way he did, talking about he'll smash on him and that this fool's a poo nanny and like just all types of extra stuff, which is funny because look at, and a lot of people remember that at one time dude had a different style. Then he switched up and he went to got his whole head tatted like a cholo, because mostly that's how the homies used to get their face tatted and all that. And people, from back then would acknowledge that fact that only homies really did that type of, and Samoans and stuff like that. But as far as like Los Angeles, the ones that was really getting it like that was the homies. So he got his whole head tatted. If you notice some of the stuff that he was wearing, he had the cut off Dickies button up shirt, the three little things, you know what I mean? And he was dressing like a cholo. Then he got Sad Boy Loco put in a whole different audience. See, it's no secret that people have been doing that since day one. People say appropriating somebody else's culture. Well, I mean, look it. They said that Latinos appropriate the black culture because they choose to rap, but they kept their estilo, but they chose to rap. So that's somehow appropriating, another culture's stilo, which is crazy because you have Puerto Ricans and everything that's been involved in rap, hip hop since day one. West Coast weren't the original rappers. They came and took that from the East Coast. So actually, it's just all it is taking something, adapting it to your own, and being able to put it out there. Everybody wants to make money, and I notice if in a lot of cases, if I'm making money, but you know what I'm saying, and you trying to make money, I'm mad at it. You know what I mean? Maybe because you might happen to make more money than I'm making. You know what I mean? And I figure I started it. At the end of the day, it's like it's always going to be a lot of that. But back to YG thing. See, he adopted the whole cholo style. You know what I mean? Which is, let me just say this straight out. That style is nothing new. When I was busted, I ran into, black dudes that were actually homies back in the days. But see, you had choices whether you wanted to continue that. These guys chose not to continue that. But if you see them, some of these dudes are lifers, some of them not. they're all dressed like cholos. They still wear the 1, 2, 3 open, big pants and everything, and be betting on the yard. And I know there's other people that see them like, what's up with this dude? But it's a simple fact that he adopted that stilo and he kept it. He just didn't want to continue, riding for the cause. You know what I'm saying? And one of the homies from Pueblo, same thing. He used to run with the homies, but when he got a little bit older, he just was like, I'm good, I want to run with mine. And they had no problem with it. All right, go ahead. You see what I'm saying? So since day one, people have been taking, not so much taking, but using other people's culture in order to, it's something that they're comfortable with. I chose to be me because it's something I was comfortable with. I could have went a lot of different ways, but I chose to go my way. Now back to YG. So he knew by taking on that style that he would turn heads and people would be staring at him a lot more. When he started to shift to that style, that's when he really started to get that buzz. He brought in Sad Boy Loco because he knew that by getting Sad Boy Loco and showing that he could deal with one of the homies, he would bring in a lot of other people. When he brought in Sad Boy Loco, so many homies flocked to his cause. Even though, there had been past drama, they still flocked to his cause because they were like, look it, he letting one of the homies in. He gonna let the homie eat. And that's all it really comes down to. Like, okay, well, he messes with us, so he's good in my book. A lot of people do that in order to get that attention. And when they can no longer get that attention, well, when they already got that, they garnish that attention, they no longer need to propel you into the spotlight. Prime example, Sad Boy Loco. If it's like this, if you're really one of my artists and I'm really looking out for you, I'm going to get you out of jail. But he's not going to get him out of jail because at the end of the day, it don't benefit him. He already did what he did in order to get the attention that he got. He already got. Right now, if you go on social media and you'll see the division, you know what I mean? It's like you got people that, so what? He came at that little kid the way he did. I still mess with him. He already garnished the attention. He already grabbed the people that he needed to grab. The ones that don't want to mess with him now because of that, he don't care because he still got enough in order to continue getting paid off of them. He used Sad Boy Loco to get paid off. It wasn't that he was just really messing with him like that. He seen dude have buzz and he swooped him up. But that's how the game runs. It just so happened that this fool was Mexicano and he knew that would bring him even more attention than it did. Even his stilo, like the cholo, the only difference is he wore red. Some he didn't, but some he wore red. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's all it is. It's a big game. And I have no problem with that. My only thing was just like, I thought it was just kind of like weak. You know what I mean? That he would push up on the youngster. And you can see the little kid was, not little kid, but you could tell the dude was nervous. He was annoyed. He's like, oh, he didn't know what YG was going to do. And I think that right there kind of shows a person's character. Like I said, I don't got nothing against YG. I just thought that was just out of character. Like, why push a line on some dude that's just a nobody? You know what I mean? And not like he's just nobody as a human being, but he ain't in the media and nothing. He was just excited to see you, and probably like show like, hey, I got YG. Look it, you know what I mean? And I just thought that was just entirely weak. See. And the whole thing, why I thought it was weak is because when that dude Compton Menace was out here pushing this line, like he was just, and a lot of people know about that dude Compton Menace. When he popped on the scene, I didn't know who he was. I just know that he was pushing a hard line on everybody. And it's funny that certain cats didn't have that same energy with this dude. You know what I mean? But it's like that. You know what I mean? I know a lot of cats that ain't really with that life like that, but the simple fact that they got other people that are vouch for them, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it comes down to money and all that. You know what I mean? It's like people will use you to the point they use you up and burn you out, and then when they can no longer use you, they don't care. They throw you to the side. The whole thing about the rich is to continue being rich, and that's a smart plan. So yeah, when people ask me about this dude, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, dude, yeah, I didn't like what he did. I thought it was weak, you know what I mean? I thought it made his character look weak to push up on an individual that was absolutely not threatening you, you know what I mean? That physically probably, well, I can't even say physically because I don't know. The dude might have had like major hands, and I've never seen YG fight, so I don't know if he got any hands at all. But I just thought it made his character look weak in order to push up on a a non-affiliate and just really, but didn't keep that same energy with that dude Compton Menace. But that's the way it is. That's the media. You know what I mean? When cats get a certain level of money, they just they change up. You know what I mean? I mean, you can look at people the way they dress and just like, yeah, you know. And that's all I'm really gonna say on that. You know what I mean? But that's why you just got to be careful who you mess with. That's why you got to be careful who you support. There's a lot of cats out here that's really pushing that black and brown love. That's really like out here in the music and really willing to collab with certain cats. But a lot of cats don't want to collab with them because they're not on the same level as dudes like YG and other cats. You got to be able to sit down and separate the real love from the fake love. And in most cases, not in most cases, but some cases, it's going to be fake love. I'm going to use you as much as I can in order to propel me into the spotlight. And he knew by grabbing a Latino, Hispanic, whatever, that he would garnish even more attention because people would see it as, oh, he's actually giving the homie a shot. And he did. You know what I'm saying? So there's no heat on that. But more homies should be collaborating with dudes that's actually really pushing that black and brown love. You know what I mean? Not the temporary love, but that real love that's like, hey, we can actually get out here and eat. And that's the whole thing. Everybody needs to be able to eat. We should all be able to cross these barriers, whites, blacks, Mexicanos, whatever. Should be able to cross these barriers and really get this money the way we need to get it. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to give it to you. And stop the whites and this and all that. Like I said, they don't run the country. They don't own the currency. They don't own none of that, dude. You have certain cats that are racist, and it's understand they're just gonna be racist. And there's a lot of cats that's not racist. So you can't just take one particular group and mash them with everybody else. Just because this dude white don't mean he's a skinhead. Don't mean this fool just because he's black that he's a blood in the crib. Just because this fool is Mexicano don't mean he's a cholo and he's with the gangster life. He might detest the gangster life. Take everybody on an individual level. You know what I mean? And as long as you do that, you'll be good. But anyways, shouts out and thank you to everybody that's ever watched every commercial on my channel. You know what I mean? Because it really helps out. I was able to get this, which is a mic. I could break down the type of mic, and I was able to finally get me a camera in order to do the things that I need to do with this Rebel EOS SL2. It is a SLR camera. I'm sure you don't want no tutorial on it, but yeah, I was able to get that due to the fact, like I said, that people actually, mess with my channel. And on that note, I like to say thank you one more time. And like, yeah, to YG, look, dude, just be humble. You got money now, just be humble. You know what I mean? If somebody film you on one, just tell them, hey man, I don't want to be filmed. But pushing up on them, talking about you'll smash on them, dude, that's like weak. To pushing up on a non-affiliate, that's just weak, And shouts out to Compton Menace, you know what I mean? When he was out here pushing that line on everybody and dudes wasn't really pushing that line back. Keep that same energy every time. That's all I say, and learn how to move. And on that note, you about to enjoy the rest of your day. I got 2-3 videos lined up and I'm out.